everyone, I am Arlette Hardy, blogger and joy strategist from chasing-joy.com, and I am here giving you guys a bump date or a baby making or pregnancy update after my 2.5-year infertility journey to become a single mom by choice, ultimately finding success through IVF. So, let me give you some stats. So, obviously, I'm still having shortness of breath. Oh, before I go into the stats, let me just say, I do read all of you guys' comments, and I do appreciate them and all the well wishes. I am going to take a few moments at the end of this video to answer some of your questions, because I know even though I try to go back and answer everyone in the comments, I don't often get a chance to do it really timely, but I want you to know that I do read them. So stick around to the end if you can, because I know all of you can't stick around to the end. Before I jump into the stats, I do have a question. So I want to know, what are some good, like, old wives' tales or like good at-home gender prediction tests to do, because I don't know the gender yet. We're going to find out in a few weeks, and I thought it might be fun to do like a video at home of either, you know, answering some of the gender prediction questions or doing some of the tests, and then we'll compare to the actual results. So let me know what you guys, which kind you know of. So, oh, and another thing I want to share before I get into the stats. Obviously, I'm not in the baby's room, right? So, since I became pregnant, I had been doing all the bump dates in that room, but finally that room is empty. My brother and my nephew came over this week and took all the furniture out of there, so there's nowhere for me to sit in there right now. So hopefully, God willing and crossing my fingers, maybe by the time next week comes and I do another video, I'll be able to go in there and at least show you guys like the paint job, because that's really the only major thing that needed to happen. So anyway, that's why I'm down here in my living room. And if you hear noise in the background, it is the cats. This is actually take 2 for this video, because Buttercup was in here, and as soon as I started recording, she started jumping on things and knocking stuff down and playing with her toys and making lots of noise. So I had to put her out. So if you hear meowing or scratching at the door, that's what that is. So anyway, on to the stats. Today I am 28 weeks and 6 days pregnant. It is Friday, February 9th, I believe, and I'm going to upload this video to YouTube right when I'm done, so you guys should see it the same day. If you're up late on, well, hopefully not too late, if you're up kind of late on Friday, or maybe you'll see it Saturday or later in the week. According to the app, the baby is the size of a large eggplant. And they say it's approximately 2¼ pounds or 15 inches. So we already know my baby is bigger than 2¼ pounds, because at 27 weeks and 6 days last week, my baby was already 2 pounds 15 ounces. So a week later, and with a trend of about gaining a pound a month, I would venture to say my baby's probably already 3 pounds and 3¼ pounds. So that's that. So I'm going to talk to you guys about what week 28 was like for me. I will say physically this week was better than last week, than week 27. I know I was telling you guys about the ligament pain and the carpal tunnel and the swollen feet and the leg and feet cramps. So last week was kind of rough. This week has been a lot better. My feet have not been swollen since Saturday. Sunday they were normal. Monday, and all through this week they've been normal size. I typically have like kind of like flat feet and kind of thin feet. Feet are definitely not my best feature. My mom used to actually poke fun at how thin my feet were. You could kind of see the bones and veins. So I noticed on Sunday, like, oh, I can see the veins in my feet again. So they're back to being thin, scrawny feet, not those plump, uncomfortable looking, swollen feet. So that was better. No leg or feet cramps. I felt the beginning of a cramp, but I was able to like stretch it out. And the ligament pain has improved, but I was only at work in the office one day this week. So I think that has something to do with both the pain and the swelling. I'll get into why a little later, but I noticed before that on days that I work, those things, like, I won't say before, I noticed last week on days that I was at work, those things were worse. So overall, this week was better. The worst thing that happened over the week was on Saturday, I had to attend the funeral of my uncle, my dad's brother, who I spent a lot of time with as a kid, so that was sad. But overall, it wasn't like the worst day because a lot of my family was there and they were happy to see me. And I really do have a very good family. So, you know, it was nice to see everyone, even though the circumstances were sad. And the best was the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So I'm from Philly, if you didn't know. So the Eagles win the Super Bowl has been like the best thing all this week. Yeah, so that was definitely the highlight of the week. I was like very, very excited. I don't watch football all the time. Like, you know, I probably haven't really watched the whole game since my dad passed away. But sports was always very, very important in my house growing up with my dad. He was very much a big sports fan. We root for all the home teams. So it was exciting, and just the atmosphere in the city has been amazing. And we had a parade this week. And if I wasn't pregnant, I would have gone. So it's been a really good week. But so that overall, the Eagles winning has been the best part about the week, and all the different things dealing with it, the parade and whatnot. So for aversions this week, I wrote down chicken and a question mark. So I had chicken yesterday, and I was able to eat it, but like, and I really don't want to be gross, so sorry. But a couple times I was like eating it, and then like there were a couple bites where I just had to spit out. So I don't know what's going on with that. And then I had a chicken wrap today from Salad Works, and most of it I was able to eat, you know, but a couple times where I had like kind of like a bite where it was mostly chicken, I found myself spitting it out. So I put a question mark on. I'm not sure what's happening with the chicken again. That's been kind of on and off again aversion throughout the pregnancy, but it had been fine for a while. My sleep has been pretty good. I am back to waking up to pee again, and I'll get into that more. The symptoms, overall, my sleep's been pretty good. My symptoms, so I do still have the carpal tunnel. I'm not wearing the wrist thing right now. I think I was wearing it in the last video. It actually feels better, but I noticed now my right wrist felt a little wonky today. So still dealing with that. I am feeling a little more tired now than I had, I guess, during the second trimester. And my shortness of breath is still there, which I'm sure you guys can hear. I get winded when I'm talking a lot. I had vertigo this morning. Like, so that's like dizziness when you move your head. This is my third time in the pregnancy having vertigo. I don't know if I've mentioned it in a video or not, because honestly I forget once it's over. Every time I've had it, I think it was because I hadn't drank enough water. I noticed toward bedtime yesterday, I was really thirsty, and then I realized I hadn't drank as much water that day. as I had been. So I was like, darn, now it's time to go to bed. And now I'm, you know, realizing. So I tried to drink a little more. But obviously I ended up going to sleep, so I didn't get enough water in. And I did wake up early in the morning, and when I like turned over from like left side to right side, the room went spinning. I'm gonna try and remember to mention it to the doctor, but I forget because, like I said, it's happened 3 times. But then once it's over, like I go about the day and I'm fine. And I'm gonna try. I've been trying to drink more water throughout the day today, and I'm gonna try to drink more through the evening as well, because I really don't like that dizzy feeling. And another symptom I had, so that I forgot to actually write down, is I think I actually had my first I guess uncomfortable Braxton Hicks this week. So like I said, the Eagles won the Super Bowl, so I went to a friend's house to watch, and then right after the halftime show, I left because I said, you know, like, I'm from Philly. I live in the city. I don't live in the suburbs. I live in the city of Philadelphia. And the people go crazy with, like, sporting events and things like that. So I already knew if the Eagles win, these people are going to, like, go crazy. And I do not want to be in the street, even though they're going to be celebrating. But, like, I'm pregnant, so, like, I just can't be out there in traffic. People jumping around, people shooting guns because, you know, they're excited like they do in New Year's. Like, I needed to get home. So I rushed home, got there in record time, perfect, saw the whole and the rest of the game. And when they won, I was so excited. And I was like jumping up and down, which is not even really like me, but I just felt so excited. And I was just thinking about how happy my dad would have been that they won. Like, we've never had a Super Bowl before. I was jumping up and down. And then it was like, okay, settle down. And then not long after that, I felt like crampy, like uncomfortable period cramps. Like, not the worst period cramps, but uncomfortable. And then it would go away, but then it would come back, and then it would go away. And it kind of lasted throughout the night. Like, I remember waking up uncomfortable a couple of times. And then it was it. And I started to try and drink a lot of water that day, because I know being dehydrated can also cause, you know, that crampiness. So I mentioned to one of my mom friends, and she said that it sounded like the Braxton Hicks to her. So I said, okay. But I also know it's like around time for that to happen according to the apps. So yeah. So that's it for symptoms. My exercise this week. No real exercise, guys. Well, except for jumping around for the Eagles. And I have been doing a little bit of squats, as was recommended in the childbirth class. But other than that, I didn't do anything. And because the Eagles won the Super Bowl this week, I did not have to go to work an extra day. I was able to work from home a lot. So I didn't even like walk during the day like I do when I'm at work. So yeah. My meds. So meds are pretty much the same, but with one new addition. As of a few hours ago, I'm taking my prenatal, baby aspirin, vitamin C, D, E, and niacin. And the newest one is now iron. So a big thing that happened this week is I did the 1-hour glucose test for gestational diabetes. Then they also ran a CBC, that's like a blood panel. And the results of the blood panel were that my iron is starting to be low. It was not low in the first trimester, but now in the third, it is dropping. So she told me, you know, it wasn't bad, but to start taking iron every day or every other day. She said, because basically what's happening is I no longer have enough iron for both me and the baby, and so the baby is taking it all. So, which is how it's supposed to be. So I just added iron with my dinner tonight. So my mood. So this week has been a little odd in terms of my mood. Like I said, started out with a funeral, which is, you know, a sad event, but it was great to see family and feel a lot of pride in our family. which was nice. Then Sunday, the Eagles won the Super Bowl, which was awesome. You know, that excitement kind of carried throughout the week. On Wednesday was actually my dad's birthday. And birthdays of my parents are sensitive days for me, so I usually take off work and allow myself to just feel however I'm feeling and not feel like I have to put on a brave face, or if I'm not able to, be in fear that I'm like taking out my sadness or anger or whatever I might be feeling that day on someone else. So I take off from work to like not even project that on or put that on other people. So, you know, that was kind of like a up and down day. Then like Thursday was the Eagles parade, which was kind of bittersweet. Like I felt very emotional about this Super Bowl win, which is surprising because I said I'm not like the hugest, you know, I don't sit around watching football every weekend, but just knowing how much it would have meant to my dad and with his birthday, it just felt very kind of bittersweet. Like I wish he could have been here, you know, to see it. So I found myself very teary-eyed over that. So it's been kind of a up and down week. And then I did the gestational diabetes test, and the 1 hour test, which I thought I failed it already because I had a monitor that I took with me, and I did my own blood sugar right after the test was over, and it came in at 139, and I know above 140 is failing, so I assumed that their test would be better and that it was probably over 140. Well, she called today. The doctor told me that my blood sugar was actually 152, so like I definitely failed it. So not really shocked, but a little bummed about that. And then the iron, which doesn't bother me too much, but like, you know, and it does explain some of the tiredness that's creeping back. And then also today I went to visit a daycare, and I felt sad when I left because I just didn't love it. Like, it was okay. It's nothing really bad about the place, but it just wasn't great. And like the one I visited a few weeks ago, I think I mentioned in the video, I really loved, and I'm on the wait list, but I'm like number 7 out of 7 possible openings. So there's a chance that I won't get in there, and then if I do get in there, there's a chance I might have to wait till mid-September, which is a little later than I had planned. So, you know, I'm trying to find another backup in case I can't get in there. So it just really bummed me out when I left, and I did not love that daycare. I mean, so I don't know. I'm still on the hunt. The daycare thing is stressful. You know, it did make me feel sad, like I wish I could just stay home with my baby. But that's not my reality. So even if I were married, I doubt that would be my reality. Because it's not most people, at least not most people in my circle's reality. Most people need 2 incomes. So, but I did feel kind of bummed. So, yeah, this week my mood's been kind of up, down, up, down, up, down. And regarding the glucose test, so failing the first test does not automatically mean I have gestational diabetes. She explained I have to do the 3-hour test, and where they'll do 4 blood sugar draws, a fasting, and then I'll drink the stuff, and then 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours later, blood draws. And then if I have numbers that for 2 or more of those that are above the cutoff, that will determine. So I'm not really looking forward to doing that, but we shall see what happens. Who have I told? Everybody knows I'm pregnant. The gender, I still don't know. Like I said, guys, give me some ideas for gender prediction tests that will be fun to do before we actually find out at the reveal. What am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to getting this baby's room done. To getting one of the 2 contractors I've been talking to actually to find time to get here and look at the room and like give me a firm quote and like a timeline and all that. I'm also looking forward to the baby shower, which will be great. What do I miss? I already miss carbs and I haven't fully cut them. I have been cutting back a little bit by little, since I did assume that I would not do well with the gestational diabetes test. But I already miss them, which is funny. And okay, before I get to the end, which is the bump shots, I will answer some of your questions from last week. So one question was, will I find out the gender? So like I just told you guys, yes, we are doing the gender reveal at my baby shower so that it's fun for everybody. We're going to find out together. I'm a little nervous about that. I don't know how my reactions will be, but I'm very much looking forward to it and kind of ready to know. So that's going to be in 3 more weeks, and I'm going to definitely try to Facebook Live the gender reveal. So if you're not following Chasing Joy on Facebook, you really should, so you don't miss the gender reveal. Someone asked me the question about my ERA. They wanted to know that before the ERA, was my lining in prep, I guess, for either IUI or embryo transfer. I don't know which one, but they want to know, was my lining good before I did the ERA test? And yes, I never had a lining issue in all of 2.5 years. Every time my lining was perfect. However, I learned when I was learning about the ERA that just because your lining is good doesn't mean that the receptors, which are like the little catcher's mitts that's within the lining that will actually catch the embryo, just because the lining's good doesn't mean that those receptors, those catcher's mitts, are ready to be open to catch the embryo. So that's actually what the ERA test tells you. So I did that, made some changes, and you guys can go check that video out if you want. But to answer the question, no, I did not have any lining issues, even before the ERA. Someone mentioned how thick my hair is, and it looks a little thinner right now. That's because I just got it done today. If you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you saw I actually showed my natural hair texture, which I never wear my hair like that, so it was really tight and short and curly looking. But I got it blown out today and done, so it looks impressed. It looks a little thinner. But I have to say, some of that's probably the pregnancy, but most of that is the fact that I don't have a perm anymore. When I made changes to get rid of some chemicals and things from my diet and my lifestyle, one of those was my relaxer. I let it go. So that was well over a year ago, almost a year and a half now. And so I don't have any more perm hair in my hair. It's all been cut off over the last several months through trims. So that's why it looks a lot thicker. But it probably will thin some after pregnancy, but that's the main reason. Oh, and then I wanted to say hi to John from Ireland, who gave me best wishes all the way from Ireland, which is awesome. I'd love to know where some of you guys are watching from. So definitely follow after John and let me know where in the world are you. Let's see. Oh, someone else left a very nice remark saying that I'd be fine delivering no matter which way I end up delivering, because I think I mentioned not wanting a C-section. And I know, I mean, if I have a C-section, I know I'll be fine, baby will be fine. My main concerns with the C-section are that I live alone, and the main support people in my life all have very busy lives, all work full-time, have kids, little kids and things. So if I were to have a C-section, I don't really have anyone who would be here with me 24/7, like if I can't pick up the baby and things like that. I would have to make some major like adjustments and ask people to make major adjustments to their life, even if it was for a short time. So I hope that I don't have to do that. That's my main concern with that. And then lastly, someone wanted to know, was I going to do a newborn photo shoot? So yes, I am. And I actually been in contact with the person for that, and I need to make my deposit. And I am going to do prenatal photo shoot as well if I can get the nursery ready, because that's where I want to have it. And oh, I think I forgot to go over purchases in my stats. So I did buy a lot of stuff this week, though I don't have any of it because I bought it all online. I ordered a big blanket that has the Bible verse. I forget what it is. It says, like, for this child I have prayed. And I plan to bring it to the hospital with me and take a photo with that blanket on the bed holding the baby. And I'll probably send that one into work. Typically, people send in a photo to work to let your coworkers know, Mom and baby, you're fine. And I'd like to include that if possible. I also bought a baby book. I don't even want to tell you guys how much I paid for it. A ridiculous amount. I hope I love it. It's one made where you can make it specifically for single moms by choice. I added a page for the donor, and there's no mention of like a dad in there. So it'll be very like specific to our family style. I also bought some tights at Lane Bryant, so hopefully those fit, and in like a larger size, so I can wear, like, I guess leggings would be a better term than tights. And then I bought some bras from Motherhood, nursing bras, just so I could have at least a couple to take to the hospital with me. So that's it. This video is already way long, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a bump shot. So basically tomorrow I am 29 weeks. It's going so fast. So this is how I'm looking from the front and from the side. Definitely can't hide it. Hopefully the back looks the same. This side, and the front again. So that's how I'm doing at 28 weeks and 6 days. That's how week 26 went. And that's all I have for this week. Actually, I had a lot more to talk about than I thought initially, but thanks to you guys for watching. Please let me know if you watched to the end, and let me know where you're watching from. And also, like I said, let me know if you know any gender prediction, like old wives' tales or things to do that you think would be fun to see me do on camera. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!